Two great things have already happened to me since I've been in this building. First, I don't have enough men in white shirts bringing me chicken. A glaring lack that was made apparent to me this afternoon. And second, I can't wait to get home and tell my children and Bob that Pastor Keith validates that they are a tribulation. So we're here today. We're here to honor someone for doing amazing community work. You know, and we're here to talk about why that work is meaningful. And in some ways, you know, I'm preaching to the choir because you're all in this room today because you're committed to this work, and you know this work is meaningful too. We're here to talk about kids. We're here to talk about children in our backyards, in our communities, in our kids' classrooms. Kids who are in serious jeopardy of falling, not through the cracks, but through the holes. You know, one of the things that I've been really, really lucky to do in my job, I mean, you know, you could ask Brett the same thing. When you work in media, you kind of have a magical life because you get to visit everybody else's world, and you don't linger, you just kind of stay and explore, and you get to go on and back to what you usually do. And one of the things that I've been really privileged to be able to do working on the radio is get involved in community programs. I'm very active in my own YMCA, and to get very involved in global programs. Those of you who listen to the show know that the Link and Bob and I have partnered with World Vision, and we've traveled with World Vision, and we've had an opportunity to help spread their message that one person saves one child at a time. One person to one child, and it makes all the difference in the world. And the spectacular thing about that is I get to get up in people's faces and share with them what I really passionately believe, which is that we have an obligation to look after the smallest and the weakest and those least represented. And I love when people argue with me. I just absolutely love someone who disagrees. There's nothing that makes me happier, as my 2 ex-husbands and several attorneys will tell you, than someone who's not with my program. I just love it. And I love, you know, when I'm out there and I'm talking about World Vision, and we have got to get out there, you know, for just a few dollars you can make these spectacular differences in the lives of kids. I love people to say stuff to me like, well, yeah, we got problems in our own backyard. What you doing for kids in America? And I love when they say that, because then I get to say, well, what are you doing for kids in America? And they say, well, we have, you know, these big safety nets. So, you know, these other kids in like Tasmania should get their own safety nets. And I'm like, we do have safety nets. What are our safety nets? Well, you know, the government. So you're not doing anything yourself, but we're counting on these big governmental safety nets. Okay, let's talk about what that safety net is. What are those programs that we have in place in our own backyard that make it okay for us to turn away from the poverty that sits side by side in the classrooms with our kids? Well, we have food stamps, which is an amazing and wonderful thing. We have Medicaid. We have free school lunches. We have Toys for Tots and coats for kids. We have great programs like the community outreach at the YMCA. Why don't we just send those poor kids to the YMCA? Where, as everyone knows, they have a machine in the basement that just spits out the money that pays for these programs.